when you're powerful, things could happen. Like, okay, I always had a loving wife, but when I didn't have any money, no girls would hardly look at me. Some, yeah, they'd like me, this and that. Now, when I'm driving a Ferrari in front of the Vatican, I have nuns jumping out of the Vatican to jump into my
Dude, that
Ferrari and take
story
pictures with me.
cracked me out, dude. I've seen the picture. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Purpose Over Pleasure. And tonight we have a pleasure of, well, you guys have a pleasure of meeting the person that changed my life dramatically, the person that has taught me a lot, the person who still teaches me a lot every day, uh, and the person who I have the blessing to call a friend, Kevin. Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, man. I know you have a busy schedule and shit ton of things to do, but you made time, man, so I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you, Alex, and to see how far you've come, and to tell part of my story, which will hopefully be part of your story that grows into both of our stories. It's nice to see the progress, and it's nice to see a dear friend and someone coming up in social media and podcasting and business and real estate and career and all the things you do. I hold high value to you, so thank you for considering that, and definitely one of my best students and pupils and people that I mentor. So I'm excited to see what you could do, and we could do it together in the future.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot, man. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like he mentioned, one of his students, a byproduct of his environment, and but yeah, a lot of things has been going, and a lot of things have changed ever since I met you. But I think it'll be fair if you tell them a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your story. 'Cause I find your story very empowering, and you've gone through a lot, in my opinion, and I've seen you build your company in front of my eyes in like less than a year into something incredible. So I tell you guys right now, he's not talking out of his ass. I've seen him do shit, and he's all about the business. So you want to tell him what's up?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys a little bit about me. So it's a long story, but it's an interesting story. I'll try to sum it up a little bit. And the goal of this story is not to say who I am or brag or I did this or did that. None of that matters. Hopefully, the goal of my story here is to inspire you, people like me, and to inspire and inspiring people who inspire other people. Because, like I always tell you, Alex, you're only as good as the people that you can motivate and the people you can lead and what you can do. We're all one person. We all try our best. We all come from different walks of life, good, bad, sad, ugly, pretty, but we all come from somewhere. So my story is a little bit different. I grew up in a pretty decent family while I was young as a child. Very neglected, was left out in the streets, came from a very wealthy family. And when I was in fifth grade, they gave me a Harley Davidson, said, here, find your way to school. So, that was pretty
That's
cool.
interesting.
So I would be riding to school back and forth. By the time I was in middle school, my godfather and certain influences and stuff, I already had the mind of getting a group of people to work for me and do things, whether legal or illegal, to bring me money and me sort of run that group of people. In sixth grade, I was doing this. Time goes by. By the time I was 13 years old, we had the T-Mobile sidekicks back then.
Yeah, I remember those, man.
Yeah, T-Mobile sidekicks. And back then, cocaine was pretty popular, as it still is today.
Still is.
And so a lot of the people in my school, they'd use cocaine. And so my first business idea was, hey, I know how to use the computer. I know how to use the internet. I know how to build. So we had MySpace back then. We had Win Systems. GoDaddy was just kicking off.
MySpace days.
Yeah. So I was building, coding, doing websites as a teenager. And so I then figured eBay had just started. And this is way back when. This is 2004. I was one of the first people on eBay to put video games on eBay. And back then, I wasn't a video game store or a seller, so I would go to the hood where I needed to get the connects in Northside Long Beach. And I'd go to Newport Beach, the rich area where I grew up. And
that's one county for you.
Yeah, one county.
Everything in one county, baby.
And it switches really quick. It goes from what was $700 an ounce to $1,400 an ounce just when you cross the border.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't know what it is now. And then the grams, the 8 balls, they all double, triple, quadruple. You know how it goes. So while doing all that, these kids that didn't have money but had a lot of video games, they would come to me and trade in their games. And so as they were trading in their games, I would then give them, say, an 8 ball of cocaine for $500 of video games. Now their parents were so rich, they would just go out Newport Beach and go buy them brand new games the next day from back then it was Circuit City or Fry's, one of those places, and no big deal. And so every day I was making 250, 500, sometimes 1,000, sometimes 700, and I would just sell 5 to 10 games. So back then, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and by the time I was 14, 15 years old, I was making about 150, 200,000 a year. And I was making more than my teachers were making. And so I got a 7 Series Beamer, white on white. Rick Ross just came out, and they made that song Hustling. Yeah. Remember, white on white, that's fucking Ross. So I went and got the Beamer, and I started doing other things.
That's 15 years old.
Yeah, 15. Okay. Yeah, okay. I lived on my own too. I was already kicked out of the house for doing what I was doing, and so my parents kicked me out in the streets as a teenager. And so I had enough to support myself, though. So I still went to school. I went to high school for 2 years until I got expelled. I got expelled out of one high school. I got expelled out of another. I got expelled out of the district. So I was 16. I had 4.0 GPA, honor roll, really smart kid, but a really bad kid. And so they expelled me out of school finally for a bunch of crazy reasons. I mean, I guess I deserved it back then. So I was going to continuation school, and everyone was doubting, everyone was hating, but I still had the fire, the motivation. I still wanted to be smart. I still was a good student. I still had good ethics, good grades. I just became a street hustler, which is what I was at the time, and an online e-commerce hustler. Well, as those things grew, I took the CHESP. So at 16 years old, I graduated high school, California High School Proficiency Exam, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor at the time, and he signed my high school diploma. And that was that. I went to college at 16, had a bachelor's by 18, master's by 20, and just never looked back after that. And by the time I was 21 years old, I was a self-made millionaire. And not from anything, illegal. I actually had a legit company. So rewind a little bit to 20 years old. I opened Safe Referral, which was a pharmaceutical marketing firm. And I had contracts with Purdue Pharmaceuticals, the notorious makers of Oxycontin. Mm-hmm. And so I was a pharmaceutical marketing executive, and I sold millions and millions of pills and subscriptions to pain management clinics, hospitals, and doctors nationwide to help create the opioid pandemic. And people like me, my partners at the time, the doctors I worked with, the people who had the contracts that, manufacturers that supplied us, some stayed, some went to prison. My partner got 19 years. They seized my accounts, my assets, and they left me with nothing but a Toyota Prius. And so here come 22, 23 years old. I have no debt. The IRS is paid. I don't have DEA problems, but I have no money again. So I hit flat bottom, and I'm like, fuck, I'm broke again. So I was rich. I lost it. I came back, lost it. Okay. And then I go through a divorce, right? So then I go through a bad divorce, and then a bad family experiences, and then in a drama, and then lost the business, and I was down and out. I was sad. I was suicidal. I was on my last whim and didn't want to live anymore. Several times, me as powerful, I tried to take my own life and failed at it. I tried to shoot myself, didn't work. I tried to take drugs, it didn't work. Tried to crash my car, it didn't work. Nothing worked. So I figured, what? I'm just not meant to die. And on top of that, at the time, a lot of people were trying to kill me, and all the time those people tried to kill me, it never worked out. So then I figured, okay, I'm really not meant to die now. And I took it too far. I made a mistake. I was 25. This is when I opened Matrix, when I was the CEO of Matrix, which was my largest company for my current company. And in Matrix, I did very well. I was 25. And I was then a psychotherapist to the CEO, Mark Steinberg of Cube King, was extremely wealthy. Long story short with him, so you guys know, rest in peace, Mark Steinberg. He killed himself. And he committed suicide. Well, when he killed himself under my watch and died in my arms, it changed my life forever. And when my mentor, someone so rich, so powerful, that I looked up to so much, lost his life over mental health, drugs, and abuse. He overworked himself. He overdrank himself. He overdid everything. He was just too much. He was too mentally insane. And the sad problem is he really did have mental health disorders and severe drug addiction, which he couldn't battle and beat. And at 55 years old, he died, And eventually when he died, everyone that were his friends and family took all of his wealth and left his real family with nothing. So I realized what a cold world it was. But as this happened, right, out of every tragedy comes great opportunity,
Yeah.
as I always say, you
Yeah.
know. So as this was happening, I rose out of the ashes like a phoenix, you know. I was depressed, I was sad, I was hurt, anxiety, all the bullshit things people hear and talk about, and they suck. When you're going through them, the shit's real. But once you overcome them, you look back at stuff like that and you just said, I don't even know how that ever happened. It should have never been. And so I then chose, when that happened, to give up drugs, to give up a lot of violence and a lot of illegal things. And so luckily, I was on the verge of giving all that up, and everything was going quite well. And then I had the second wife. And with the second wife, I gave her a Valentine's Day present of an AR-15 300 blackout with a 30-round clip. And she forgot to make it California compliant and register it. And at the time, they were putting the pins, you know, in the AR-15s. You have to pull them so you can't push the button on the clip or the mag release.
Yeah.
That's what fucking got me. That new law. That was the law, because all my AR-15s were the old school ones, and you can't have those anymore. Okay, you get in trouble. She wouldn't take the rap for it, you know, this stupid gun. And mind you, I had no criminal, nothing at the time. All I had was restraining orders against me from people that were scared of me. 9 people that were dead ass scared of me. Due to the restraining orders, I couldn't be around the AR-15. Due to the extended clip and the non-mag, non-California compliant, it's then a felony. Once they hit me with that, I now had a pending investigation, so now the police, everyone could they swarm my house whenever they want. So being who I was and having a fingerprint touch button safe with an arsenal of guns in it, and my employees who knew about it, didn't help me out at all. So when they tried to put a RICO case on me, that didn't work out. That's not what I was doing. They tried to put all types of violence and a conspiracy and this and that. It didn't work out. Charges didn't stick. And finally, they got my own people closest to me to testify for their own gun that they didn't want to go to jail for, to pin it on me. And the whole time it was a setup so that they could get the millions of dollars that I had accumulated and all my assets and trucks and company and things.
And these are you want to share who these people are?
This is,
I think it's important.
My own ex-wife, my own accountant, my own receptionist, my own truck driver, my own best friend and salesman at the time, who I worked with every day, smoked with every day, ate with every day. It was sad. It was really fucking sad what happens.
You got betrayed by the closest to you.
The people closest to you are the ones that hurt you the most. We've all heard it a million times, right, Alex?
Ain't that a bitch?
So what I want to tell you, the reason of this is I'm sure a lot of you people watching, listening, Alex as well, have been hurt by people close to you. And don't let those people closest to you have the power and ammunition to destroy you. Keep everyone at arm's bay and a distance where they're still close. You could grab them and they're still dear to you, but don't ever give someone full control and power over you, or else that's what makes you powerless.
Yeah.
Same thing as a cult, you know. Relationships could be like a cult. Work could be like a cult. You could follow it blindly, or a really hardcore religion where you don't see nothing else and you're blinded by it. And you go so hard, just like Julius Caesar. What happens to you?
You got
You get stabbed in the back by your own people, right? It's the old story of Caesar. We're no different than Caesar. You know, we are reincarnated versions of that. So I learned from people's mistakes, right? I've seen a lot of people get hurt, a lot of people get sued, a lot of people die, a lot of betrayal. I've seen a lot. I haven't seen it all, but close down to it. And so at my age, after 20 years of business, 20 years in the streets, 20 years of experience, 20 years of international traveling, international business, import, export of all different kinds of things, commodities and places, and building companies and websites, writing books, inventing patents, all the different things that I've done, you know, you really get a sense of how the world is. So now, after overcoming all that, and after I won a lot of my appeal, came back home with nothing, had everything taken from me, and left with no family, no friends, no wife, all my animals were gone or dead or lost. All my clothes is gone, all my jewelry is gone, all my car, everything, dude. I was left with nothing but butt ass naked on the streets and nothing, not even a cell phone. And so with all that being said, this was August 25th, 2021.
This was not so long ago. That's the thing.
This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That I was down and out.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think when I met you last year, summertime last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you already got out on
It-
your feet. You recovered a little bit, but then I saw you transfer from there in 1 year and take your company to a whole other level.
yeah.
I mean, you're moving lightning speed, dude. That's one thing
It-
I learned about you. I learned many things from you. Speed, bro. You
yeah.
implement speed
And you know
quick.
what's the most beautiful part about it? It's like the Rocky story, right? Everyone loves a comeback story.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the heavy hitter coming back,
Yeah.
knocks down Tyson Fury. Gets knocked down, but Wilder
Comes
gets
back.
up, knocks him out. That's the American dream. That's the world dream. That's how I feel. So no matter how many times I get knocked down, no matter how many times I fall, I get back up and I come swinging harder and better and stronger every single time. And I strongly believe what doesn't kill you makes you stronger
Yeah.
if you allow it or you let it break you and kill you. There's two ways of looking at things. So yes, after all that tragedy, you know what happened? We'll go to Norwalk. Same situation as similar to where you're at now. That's why I want to show you the hope and the beauty and show your followers and people where you're going to. And I'm going to help you get along right there with you. And that's why I've been put here in your life for you. I'm sure of
Thank
it.
you, bro. Appreciate that.
I'm here. So not too long ago, I was very humbled, as I told you guys many times. Now, I was in Norwalk, California, not too far from here, from Pasadena. Norwalk's not the best area, It's like mediocre. It's has some bad parts. I lived in an okay part. It was the only thing I had. I had a crazy roommate named Justin.
Guy
Justin.
is a character, dude.
Mentally insane,
Character.
but I love Justin. Justin, if you're listening, I love you to death.
Justin,
But,
love you, bro.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Please
And
forgive
praise
us.
Jesus.
Please forgive us and praise Jesus, man.
But Justin's crazy. He's a Iraq war vet, machine gunner. Has
Yeah.
taken out tons of people and done villages and everything. He's the real war hero deal. Crazy PTSD. He's the sad case, but a real
PTSD
hero.
is real, man.
And it was just him and I. He doesn't know anything about furniture. He doesn't know about industry. He could barely talk and hold a conversation. And I didn't even have money to pay Justin for labor. I said, out of good faith, man, as you're my friend, can you help me move some furniture? And if we come bring it to the house, we'll set up a tent in our backyard and we'll build a tent and then we'll put the furniture there. Well, we did that in September, exactly 2 years ago. And I got 10 chairs. That's all I could find, 10 white little chairs. And I put them in the tent, and sure enough, it started raining. And so we had to set up the tent in the rain, put blankets over. The blankets got wet. I had to unwrap the blankets. And then the floor was uneven. So all the wheels got a bunch of mud in them and a bunch of water from the floor being uneven. So then we had to clean out the wheels, take them apart. And this for 10 chairs, dude. It took all day. And then I said, I'm going to get pallets, put some plywood. We got pallets for free from the back of Ralph's, put some plywood. The little tent I had to get from Amazon because I couldn't afford the Home Depot ones at the time. And so with that tent, I elevated, I cleaned the chairs. I sold the chairs for $1,000. Okay. I took that money. I paid Justin and I a couple $100. I took the other 500. I went and bought more chairs. And I flipped the chairs for the 500 for about $2,000 this time. And I took the other 500 I made and I bought a commercial steam cleaner, one that I couldn't even afford to buy the whole thing. So first I had to buy the fiberglass box, then the hose attachment, then the wand, because I couldn't afford the whole thing as a motherfucker. Starting up's hard, dude. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Even the table, the paint, everything's expensive, dude. So I know I couldn't afford it. So I put my steam cleaner together once I sold some more chairs, right? Now we're talking only a couple weeks. And then I did that quite a few times. So come December, my wife and I were going to go get married. I asked her to be engaged. And, we had just been together 70 days. And, my wife was somewhat well off. She has a good career, good profession. She's, PhD, smart lady, Asian, controlled, stable, good woman. I was just starting again. So I wanted to buy my wife a nice ring, and she wanted to get me a nice ring. So, and, I have a decent ring, 28 diamonds on it. So I had I think like $15,000 to spend. And that's all the money I had from my business. And, I didn't have my van yet. I didn't have my showroom. No, this was December, Christmas time. Now, my wife had a Toyota Prius that she let me drive around. And so with the Toyota Prius, she said, we're going to go jewelry shop in LA. We're in the Diamond District, shop around looking at everything. It is pricey. And the one I wanted to get her wasn't cheap. The Eternity Diamond's not cheap. And so I said, here, babe, pick out whatever you want. I'll just get the ring out. Simple one. You get something really cool. Oh, it's all right, baby. And you know what she did? She said, don't worry, we'll come back. Sell my Toyota Prius. Use that money for the rings for both of us. I'll buy you your ring. and you invest all your money in your business, and I hope it works out for you. And it changed my life when she said that. It was so life touched. No one's ever done that for me. And it was such a small gesture, but a big gesture. $10,000 isn't a lot, but it's a hell of a lot when you're starting out. And for me, you give me $10,000, I'll give you back $1 million, or more. So the beautiful part about it is I turned that 10,000 into a van. I turned that van into a showroom. And the minute I got the showroom, I had no more money, but I had my rings on and we were married already. And so when that's happening, I get an amazing call from Facebook. And Facebook calls me. My biggest client of the time, I was just starting my company, was 6 months old. And they say, hey, Jeff Bezos from Amazon is going to buy this building in Redwood City. And we want you to come down and liquidate it because Jeff Bezos is going to blow it up and build the robotics factory in it. And I said, really? I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even have a credit card at the time. Now I have a platinum card unlimited. But at the time I had a Visa little credit card, $300 or $500 limit. I couldn't even rent the car at the airport to go to my meeting in San Francisco. So I had to say, Mila, could I please add me to your credit card so I could rent a nice car to go to my meeting? And she did. She did. And I took her credit card. I rented a really nice BMW I couldn't afford at the time. And I drove to my meeting. And I did a wonderful job. I'm very good at what I do. And so I calculated everything. I gave him the lowest price. I had 2 floors. We're talking 10 tractor trailers. It was a good amount of stuff. And they just spent almost $1 million on this furniture right before COVID, Facebook. And they never used it. It was all steel case, brand new. And they said, how much would you charge us to get this out of here? That's what they told me. And I said, well, who am I bidding against? They said, no one. You're the only one that showed up for the walkthrough. No one else showed up. I said, if I give you a good price, I'll never forget it. Never forget it. I said, if I give you a good price, the facilities manager, can you tell me yes today? And I said, if you tell me yes today, I'll make it worth your while. And I sure did. I made it worth her while. Within 2 days, she had me an approval and a signature. I only charged her, remind you, $35,000 to get everything out. 2 stories. That's dirt cheap. That barely covers half the labor.
For those of you who don't know much about office furniture, that's nothing.
Nothing.
That's nothing.
Normally people would charge a couple $100,000 to clear this out.
You practically paid out of your pocket.
Out of my pocket about $50,000.
Yeah.
So how am I going to do that? I only have $35,000. I know the labor is like almost $75,000-$85,000. Well, I believed in myself again. And I said, I have a showroom. I have a website. I have a phone number. And I have myself and what I believe in. The law of attraction and the universe and everything I harness in. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to bite the bullet and say yes and sign the contract. And mind you, I only had a van. I have no trucks, nothing. I had no credit line, nothing at the time. Not like now where anyone will give me $1 million. It wasn't that simple. So, mind you, this is just April 2022.
22, yeah.
Yeah, we're in September 23.
23.
It's not that long ago. So, less than a
Happened
year
in April,
and a half.
and I met you in July.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
happened in April right before I met you. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I sell a little bit. I cover enough to pay to deliver all the stuff to my showroom. I didn't even have enough room. I rented out storage units, to extra space storage. You remember those?
Like when I started to the showroom, yeah.
Yeah, right by the showroom because I didn't have a warehouse. So
And now you have
now I have multiple.
Well,
There's 6 huge
different
warehouse,
different
200,000 square feet, multiple states.
Wow.
Fleets, trucks. Up to 100 guys that work for us every week. It's busy.
Yeah.
It's busy. So it wasn't always that way, though. So what happened, though, I believed in myself. And I was in my business. And I supported 100% with everything I had down to the last penny and dollar. And I'd still do it to this day, any day of the week. And what happened? Nothing was selling. I posted. I was stressing out. The bills are coming. It was about to be the first again. Who calls me up? Longfellow Property Management. That's Jeff Bezos Commercial Realtors. And they say, Jeff Bezos changed his mind. He's pulling out of this building. It's going back to Facebook. Thank you for your interest. We hope you do business. And by then, I already pulled everything out. They didn't know I pulled everything out, all the furniture yet. So the property managers I was dealing with called me back and said, hey, Facebook's going to extend their lease. We offered them a new deal, and they want all their furniture back. Well, within 2 weeks, I sold them back all that furniture I took in. I was holding the bill for $40,000. I sold it back to them for $250,000 in 2 weeks. Made $210,000 in 2 weeks. And there we go. I never looked back from there.
That's great. Universe works in mysterious ways, my friend.
It will always work out for you if you believe in it. You know, just like all the stories I was telling you from earlier today,
Yeah.
how it just works out. So from there, long story short, I take that money, I go buy a bobtail, and I go get another warehouse, and I invest $100,000 cash into inventory. Right away. Out of that whole deal, I paid myself nothing. I paid myself credit card and food and house. That's it. All the rest of the money, I reinvest it. Because if I was just going to keep paying myself and making myself richer and richer, go get a yacht right now and a house in Newport and all the things, I could do that.
Yeah.
But my business would not grow. My people would not grow. My vision, my dream would not grow. My stomach would grow. My wallet would grow. My family may grow a little bit. But the big vision won't happen. You know, a lot of people make a mistake of buying a house first, in my opinion, instead of putting their business first.
Delayed gratification.
There it is. Now, what did you do? You put your business first in your property. Exactly what I told you. And now look what's happened. You made money. You're getting money. You're building equity. You're becoming wealthier. That's business. You know, now you take that and multiply it, same as I do. You know, instead of 10 chairs, now I'm buying 1,000 at a time, 2,000 at a time. I'm going to Bank of America, Citibank, JP Morgan Chase, saying, hey, I'll give you X amount for all your assets in the building, and I'll take it all myself. You know, how things have changed. But what I wanted to mention is the snowman effect, I call it. And remember this, you're starting your snowball right now. You're rolling your snowball down the hill. But the sun's coming out, and the sun's about to melt the snow. So you got to roll it faster and faster and faster. The sun's coming out over the horizon. I hope you have your snowman built before the sun melts it. Because if it's not, you're not going to get to take your picture. And your picture is success. The picture of the snowman is your success of what you built. If you prolong too long, if your life takes too long, you will never get there. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter who you are, how smart you are, where you come from. If you go too slow, Father Time will always catch up with you before you could ever accomplish your goals. And that's why there's so many men and women who are older who have regrets in life and who on their deathbed are wishing they would have done things different. Majority of people, to be honest. And that's who I don't want to be. Ever, ever, ever.
No, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
I talk about fucking regret and across my episodes. I was lucky enough. And the reason why I say lucky is because first, obviously, when certain things happen in life, you're like, I'm the unluckiest motherfucker on earth. But it's all perception. Now I say that I was lucky enough to experience very serious regret in my early 20s and throughout my 20s. So I felt what that shit feels like.
And never do it again.
And I was like, never. I do not. I refuse to die with regret.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather die on your shield, right?
Yeah,
exactly. It's
exactly
the Roman gladiator saying, I'd rather die on my shield than die on my knees.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. That's how you got it. That's what warriors feel. That's the warrior spirit inside you. That's what you want to use to empower you. Every day, I was telling Alex this earlier, I look at myself in the mirror and I am my biggest obstacle. I am my biggest competition. It's me versus me every single day. And as long as I could outdo me from yesterday, outdo me from the past, out hustle, outwork, outthink who I was, I'm improving. Now, if I regress, if I get depressed, if I have anxiety, if I get tired, if I get sick, if I am not strong, if I am not sharp, if I am exhausted, whatever, there's a multitude of factors that could regress you. It's up to how good at you are stopping all those factors from interfering in your success.
Yeah, that's true. What I think is important to talk about, and if you don't mind, I'm asking that question because overcoming mental trauma and being able to come out on top, what suggestion would you give? Because I see certain aspects of it, but you know, I'm blessed enough not to ever be like diagnosed with anything, and I know I've been through depression in my life.
Sure.
But what helped me is when I was going through depression, I did not know I was going through depression. Only like a year or two later, when I described what I went through to my therapist, like, oh, well, you went through depression. And I'm happy because had somebody fucking told me, oh, it's okay, you just going through depression, I might have been acting like a little bitch. But instead, I'm like, this sucks. Let me just start working out at least. And then little by little, I got myself out of that fucking bullshit. But what advice would you give to people who maybe experience certain trauma in their lives that now they can't shake off or make peace with or at least tolerate, and the ones who actually been diagnosed now? We both know how true these diagnoses are nowadays. Everyone's fucking diagnosed with something, you know? What advice would you give them to be able to overcome that?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's different levels of it, right? So I am from psychological background, so I went to college for 11 years.
You do
I
have a degree in psychology,
Yes,
so I think it's
yes.
important to mention
Clinical
for
psychology, the DSM-5, like the back of my hand. I can name all your disorders that you have, probably have or don't have, based on textbook studies, symptomatic cross-checking and references. There's so many ways to do it, right? Citations, cases. There's a lot of ways
case
to
studies.
diagnose
Yeah.
someone, okay? I'm not the best judge in the world, the best psychologist, nothing. But I have seen a lot of people, and I've counseled a lot of people, and I've hired thousands of people and fired thousands of people, and I've worked with a countless amount in different cultures, different languages, all over the world, all different disorders. I've been in all types of hospitals, mental hospitals, seen both sides of it, inside and out, therapist and patient. I've been through every type of mental health you could imagine. Some of them on purpose, some of them not on purpose, some of them self-induced, some of them drug-induced, some of them chemically induced, some of them withdrawal-induced. Okay, so there's so many levels to mental health. So I would say really it depends on the person, right? Let me give you an example. The PTSD military guy that we know, no matter what therapy you give that dude, no matter what drugs you give that dude, I swear, there's no way, sadly, he will heal. He's like a squished potato, okay? So let me give the potato analogy. That's what we say in psychology.
You can't put that shit back, yeah.
There's different types of potatoes, okay? There's the squished, there's the bruised, and there's the solid. The bruised can potentially survive and be baked eventually. The squished cannot. The solid can always form into something else. So the main point is turning your mind and body, in my opinion, when I used to talk to people and counsel people, is turning it from a bruise or what's about to be squished back into a solid. If you are still at that point, you of course are. You could surpass anything. You haven't been so damaged you can't come back. I've almost been that damaged where I couldn't come back. I've been to such a dark place, I mean, when you're on the hole next to people going to death row and people are plotting to kill you and you're there for something that you didn't do, and you have the high powers of every single prison gang throwing you kites and asking your name, who you are and who your family is and stuff like that, and you got to do this and that, and you got to bring this in for them to benefit, and if you don't do it, people are going to kill you. That's a dangerous place, and you have no access to phone, no access to letters, no access to friend, no access to nothing. Whoever goes into that hole with you is probably going to kill you, or you're going to kill them. That's where I've been. I've been in the darkest holes on earth. So when you come from a hole like that, literally called the hole, STR, short-term restrictive housing unit, level 4, there's no worse than that. Do you come from the epitome of abyss? And when you're born in the abyss and the fire and the flames, like I told you, you either burn up and you turn to ashes, or you raise like a phoenix from the ashes. So for me, right, speaking from experience, coming from, it was hardcore, but not to mention I've been kidnapped in other countries. I've had people try to torture me, all types of things, right? Torture my family in front of me, crazy stuff. I've been through hell psychologically, right? And I didn't let none of that break me. You know why? Because if it broke me, guess who wins? They win. The people that unjustly did that to you win. Your enemy wins. Your competitor wins. Your ex-wife wins. Whoever the fuck. Someone's going to win and you're going to lose. So the way that I looked at it every day, right, is like a fight. Every day I look at life as everything I do is a fight. Everything is a battle. Unless I'm relaxed and trying to share and open up like this and care and give back with an open heart, it's a battle. When I go out in the streets, when I drive a car, when I go to work, it's a battle. Same as when you go to work. It's a real battle for you, physical and mental. But for me, it's a financial and it's a power struggle. And so what I don't want, never, and maybe some people could relate, I don't want people to look back on me and be like, he was the failure. He was the guy who fell and couldn't get up. He was the guy that was and then could never be again.
Gave up.
That's the worst feeling. The has been. The one-hit wonder. Yeah, the one-hit wonder. No one likes that. No one people like an ongoing champion, a consistent champion, a successor, a comeback story. That's what people like. And regardless of people, let's say it's animals. Let's say it's myself. Let's say it's your higher power. Let's say it's God. Let's say it's your kids. Let's say it's your cat. Doesn't matter what it is. You're doing this not only for you, not only for me, because if we were just doing this for you and me, we wouldn't do anything other than things that are selfish for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? So you and I have a heart. We're doing this for other people, for an audience, for our ladies, for our future families. It's important to us. So for me, I can't fail. I have no option. One, when I didn't have anything, it was to prove to the people that put me there and put me down, that I'm going to be more successful than they ever can dream. Because the sweetest revenge to anybody, you could ask them this, because I'm sure they'll be watching this one day, especially when I blast this out and send them the links to it, to all my haters and all my exes. It'll be really, really funny.
Oh.
They're going to see the success that I amounted to, and that my watch is worth more than their car, and they're just going to fucking cry. They're going to say, I could have, and they do. Their exes always try to get with me. My friends always try to, ex-workers try to come back. And if I don't let them do that, they try to sue me, because that's all they could do. So that's my sweetest revenge. My sweetest revenge is inspiring a great man like you to start his podcast on this table from this piece of art that came from the CEO's office of the Van Nuys Airport, right across the street from the private jet hangars. When I took it out of his office before I met you, right before, and I put it in my showroom, I said, this is going to go to someone special.
Nice. So the first time I saw it, I was like, Kevin, I want this painting, bro.
It was right there, right by my photo booth.
Yeah.
You know?
It was one. It was, this one was in your collection.
In mine. Yeah, my collection. It's a beautiful Tesla. It's custom.
I love it.
You know?
It started with the table.
The
table has
right?
a story, and then the painting, obviously.
So the
Here
table, and that's why I love what I do, and I love furniture, and I love art, and I love liquidations, because I literally gave you the foundation and the platform to build your future and your life. The table that's building it, the art piece that's the centerpiece, and what's going to grow into a much larger studio and place and staff and team and things that you're going to need. Yeah. So James Owens, right? Great guy.
Shout out to James, old mate.
The old mate. He gave me a shot the same way I did for you. You know, you were a little further ahead with less trauma, but he believed in me. And he gave me my first table, my first chair. You know, he gave me some little thing. And I never forgot it. And I still do a lot of business. I love James like uncle. It's those things that kick you off. It's the James Owenses. It's the Alex Paynes. It's the Mila Maxwells. You know, it's all the haters from the past. It's my competitors. It's everyone that doubted me. It's my family, my haters. A lot of people motivate me. So if I let myself down, if I get depressed, if I get anxiety, if I get even angry or lose my temper and get myself then I fucked up. And I did a disservice not only to myself, but for every single person that believed in me or depended on me. And even worse than that, I did a great thing for all the haters and people that doubted me. So fuck that. Am I going to do a favor for my haters, or am I going to do something for my friends and family?
No, of course, do it for friends and family.
So there it is.
Haters are necessary, man. And I think, you know what I realized? I recently realized that it's okay. Not only is it okay, but having the anger, everybody has anger. Everyone's angry for something, at any point in their life, right? But being able to take the anger or the criticism or the haters and all that shit and turn that into fuel takes a whole different person. Because it's okay to have a reason. You must have a reason to do it for, like you, your family, your loved ones, your kids, your wife, the people you want to help, right? But also you have to be able to take the hate, the criticism, the anger, the anxiety, the doubt, all that shit, and turn that into fuel.
Yes.
So be inspired, be motivated by the love and the care, but also utilize the negativity to turn into positive energy. And that's fucking useful.
That's mastery. Yes. It's like UFC, right? This last weekend, Sean Strickland. Why did he beat Israel Adesanya? I don't know. He believes in
himself.
That's all it was, dude. He was gonna die in that ring. Yeah, Adesanya's already champ, and he's too cool. He can't be touched.
And he's willing to die in the ring too.
Adesanya is.
He said that before.
But Strickland is more willing to die. Doesn't matter. He's scared Adesanya. Adesanya had fear in his eyes when Strickland was calling him out at the end. Punk ass bitch, let's go, let's fight, let's go. Ready to just die with his hands down.
And this has happened to Adesanya before.
No, Adesanya was shocked.
Everybody knows Adesanya.
He didn't give a fuck. And that's my point, dude. Just like the guys I was saying that were bigger than me before and are now smaller than me and working for me, I didn't give a fuck, dude. I don't care if someone's a giant. You know, you could be David still. You could still be David that slays the giant. It's a mindset, you know. And like you said, that fuel to that fire is essential. You know, it's like darkness, right? You could use darkness for really good things or really bad things. Darkness in serial killers, as you know, is what fuels them to murder without empathy or reason or rationale, and it continuously goes because they have that pain, that hurt, that trauma that we all have, but they use it for the wrong reasons and become super wicked people. Now, super good people have that same fire and trauma, maybe in different ways, but they use it in reverse, like Elon Musk. for extreme goods, like Nikola Tesla,
Yeah.
bring free energy to the earth.
Yeah.
You know, they could use it for really, really good things or really, really bad things. So I'd say your traumas are what makes you you. How did Batman become Batman?
Trauma. Going through that trauma, dude.
There it is. That story is a classic story, right? Parents got murdered in front of him, this and that. If that never happened to him, he would never be Batman. If the things that happened to me never happened to me, I wouldn't be Kevin Maxwell, serial entrepreneur, third-time millionaire at 32 years old. I wouldn't be. You know, it may be some of the extreme traumas you've seen at work and career wouldn't have made you the man that you are today, where you want to change your life and give back, and you're done with all that, and you want to do positive, bigger, better things that could really affect your community and family.
Yeah, I realize that. Yeah,
Yes.
you have to have, you almost, not almost, you have to have trauma, dude. Like this
Yes.
past weekend, I was at BK Live. By the way, shout out to Bedros Cooley and the team. It was fantastic event. And all the speakers there, every single one of them had to and was willing to and have overcome significant trauma, like
Yeah.
really, really crazy shit. And then come out on top and then drive Lamborghinis and talk to thousands of people from stage. That was inspiring. And you realize there's a pattern. Like, you have to overcome it. What's on the other side is a fucking you, the real you that the potential you have in you right now to create. You just don't know if you can make it or not. You gotta have faith, which you told me earlier, right?
You got to believe in yourself, man. You got, and just like face that, I was saying, you can't be lukewarm. You got to be all in this way or all in this way. And once you 100% dive in balls deep, then it's too late now. You're in already.
Yeah.
So you just got to go forward. You know, every day, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I believe and I know that I'm going to win.
Well, nothing is guaranteed, man. Only
Yeah,
death
there
is
you go.
guaranteed.
But I believe I'm going to win regardless what I do. 100% I know that's going
Why do you think it's important to believe? Like, I believe, and sometimes when the doubt comes, I shut it down right there. I'm like, no, fuck that. I believe. I don't know why I believe, but I choose to believe, and I don't want to think past, what can happen. So why do you think it's important to just believe?
Well, I'd honestly say your beliefs become your reality. That simple, dude. Your beliefs become your reality.
Because your beliefs are your thoughts.
Yes. How was Rome built? Off of belief it could. People for the heathens and the pagans all said, you guys are crazy. Buildings be wasting all your time stacking bricks, doing this and that. Eventually they had a great city. Right?
Yeah, and still standing.
Still standing. I was just there. It's beautiful.
How did they build that shit back then, dude? Crazy. Like, stuff like the Colosseum, the pyramids.
Amazing architecture. I mean, they had wonderful leverage systems. They had wonderful technologies that probably got lost over time, and wonderful architectural and engineering.
Yeah, the engineering is beautiful.
It was phenomenal, but those people believed, Genghis Khan took over all that land because he believed, America conquered half the world because they believed.
Anything's possible.
What did they believe in? Divine intervention. Divine intervention. That they were settling the land for the name of Jesus Christ. And that was their only belief that drove them so fucking crazy. They took over the world with that shit. Yeah, it's belief.
In the name of Jesus Christ.
Is that powerful? Okay, whether you believe in Jesus or not, it doesn't matter. The belief of Jesus is so powerful that people move hell and high water to make his beliefs come true. And they give all their money, all their sacrifice, their life lay down on the line for their beliefs. They're willing to die for them. Many people have died for it tremendously, in their whole families and their whole bloodlines for this belief.
And that's what I always say, man.
You
You
know?
gotta believe in something. You gotta stand for something, or you'll die for anything, or for nothing. It's even worse. A lot of men nowadays don't fucking have the balls to stand for something, man. Like,
a man without purpose is lost.
yeah.
A woman too. I mean, either way, and it's sad, the guys and girls out there, but the way it is, right? That's why one guy has 10 girls and there's 9 guys without any girls.
And then they hate.
Oh, there.
And then they hate. That's
Yeah.
another shit that pisses me off, dude. Like, first of all, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
You get to a certain level, you receive certain perks.
Yeah.
And women is just, I don't want to sound like a misogynist. I'm not, clearly, right? I was raised by women, I have a girl.
Sure. We all do.
But they don't seem to understand. A lot of women don't seem to understand that, there's levels to this. And with levels comes certain, perks.
Of course, like Elon Musk just impregnated his girlfriend and his wife at the same time. And they're both friends and they're both happy.
Because he can.
Because he can.
That's
'cause
Elon
he's
Musk.
fucking Elon Musk. Nick Cannon just impregnated
Yeah.
10 different girls at the same time.
Yeah.
And they're all happy and they're all friends.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos,
His
same thing.
current one. Whew.
That's
You
what
gotta
I'm
give it to
saying.
him.
When you're powerful, things could happen. Like, okay, I always had a loving wife, but when I didn't have any money, No girls would hardly look at me. Some, yeah, they'd like me, this and that. Now when I'm driving a Ferrari in front of the Vatican, I have nuns jumping out of the Vatican to jump into my
Dude, that
Ferrari and take
story
pictures with me.
cracked me out, dude. I've seen the picture.
Yeah.
This guy had a nun in his Ferrari. Sends me a photo on a random day, dude.
Yeah, on
During
a
the
Wednesday.
week, on the Wednesday, with a nun speeding with
Yeah.
a Ferrari, man. That's crazy.
And it's so crazy because, you know, and I was telling my wife about this. The more stuff I get, the more I look like I have money and have stuff, the more people want me. The more people want stuff from me. The more people ask for jobs. The more people ask for opportunities. The more people that ask for money. The more girls that come up to me. Girls married. Girls with boyfriends coming up to me, smiling, kissing their boyfriend, and wanting to come suck my dick right afterwards. You know? And they go kiss their boyfriend.
The society we live in,
It's
dude.
fucking sick. It's fucking sick. And so that's reality, though. As soon
Yeah.
as I drive the Ferrari, I had 10 girls give me their number right away. If I'm driving the Toyota Prius that my wife and I had in the beginning, not one girl came up to me. People would laugh at me. My coworkers say, "Wow, you're driving a Toyota?" You know, I thought you were the big furniture boss. You know, this and that. And, you know, I got it back quick. Now I got all the cars I want, all the AMGs, all the M's, you know,
Yeah.
Teslas. I have all that. But it took time. Like you said, there's levels. I had to prove myself and my worth again. Because remember this too. You're only as good as your last deal. That's it. You're only as good as your last podcast. That's it. That's your measuring stick. If you surpass who you were, great. If not, you're only just a has-been. You're only a what could have been, a he was, a this was, a the history, the past. That's great. But I want to stay relevant. And you know how you stay relevant these days?
Huh.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
True. I love how nobody wants to talk about money. Like, I don't know about you. I know you said you came from a wealthy family. You always tell me about your mom and your dad, which is another thing I want to kind of ask you a few questions about. But
Yeah.
nobody talks about money. It's
Oh.
a fucking
I'll talk about money.
bad, supposedly, since the very beginning, we're told that money is evil, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
it's not. It really not.
Money is just modern day slavery. You know, everyone has come up with a way to enslave people to make them do what they want to do by a forced wage, just like the Industrial Revolution. I mean, look at history, right?
Yeah.
Money is just a commodity to make people do stuff for you
Yeah.
that holds a fake intrinsic value to make them work.
And the job is
So-
a carrot in front of you, like when you're a rabbit or a
Yes.
donkey walking behind it.
If you have the money, you have the power. If you have the power, you can make the change to do whatever you want. So
And
it
that
all-
is a dangerous man.
Yes. Everything comes with money. There's a price to almost everything and almost everybody. They could tell you there's not. I guarantee you put enough money or situations or scenarios in front of them, they'll change their mind.
Think
People
so?
you would, hell yeah. I've seen it. I've tested it firsthand. People you wouldn't even expect. Some people for a lot less than you would expect. I mean, I'm talking
You're
politicians.
saying everybody, absolutely
I've
everybody.
seen high level gangsters, mobsters. I've seen businessmen. I've seen attorneys. I've seen doctors. I've seen judges. I've seen congressmen. I've
Yeah.
seen state. I've seen all types of people I've known. Why? Because I do business with all these people. I do business with all the elite of the world. A lot of my clients are billionaires. Last week I was in a helicopter and landed on a yacht to sign a contract. As this billionaire was there with 7 different girls, a butler and a chef, driving his yacht in the middle of Hawaii. You know, these people control the earth and they control people. And you know what they tell me? These billionaire people,
Mm.
they're honest with me. They're cool. They say everyone is just a number, even you.
Like, the amount of money to pay.
Yeah, they told me to my face. I'm just a number,
Yeah.
just to them. That's how they see it, right? Sure,
Yeah.
I'm a human. I have all that shit, but no, to them, we're just people, things, numbers, your statistics on a board on a game that they're playing. That's all you are. That's all I am. And that's how they control life. That's how they lobby government to get their agenda through
Yeah.
with financial bribes and golf trips and Hawaii trips.
Well, that's what lobbying is, dude. It's just a fancy word for bribing
Well,
people to do shit.
I
It's,
was lobbied to fly down to Hawaii to design a building, in a good way, right? But
Yeah.
they lobbied me. They paid my food. They paid my hotel. They flew me down. They put me in a helicopter, and they're taking care of me. That's on a small scale, right? That's just
Yeah.
one building, one design, one trip. Imagine
Yeah.
doing that on a large scale with thousands of people under your control.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're changing. Now you're controlling. Now you can rule everything. What's stopping you? You have your own little empire and kingdom.
Do you think people need to be controlled?
Some people. Most, no.
So you think if we take the entire world today and we eliminate the governments, so every country's is on its own, no government, will we be able to thrive? Or we will naturally, intrinsically pick and reform a new type of government bureaucracy?
New type of government, because what'll happen is history, right? There'll be tribunal wars. There'll be factions. There'll be just separations of powers. And after all the dust is settled and the power and one person takes leadership and charge, then that person will basically be dictator of the land they conquered.
So essentially, a natural order of things is necessary, which means people need to be controlled to a certain extent.
To an extent, yes. I mean, their laws are good, right? Like, I don't like the laws. I don't like the police. But they're good to an extent. They do help some crazy-ass
Keep
people
order.
not go rob stores and shoot people and do all this, stab people. Yeah, I get it. Yes, we do need it. Did the Wild West work? Yes. Because there's another type of order, too. That
Natural
says, you
selection.
fuck with me, natural selection, motherfucker, you're dead.
Yeah,
That works very well, too.
that's been working.
You know,
That's
it's been
how
working,
always.
and that's how it is in, like,
And the
Texas.
problem is that's how it has worked
Yeah.
and will always work.
Like-
but we try to fuck with it.
Yeah, like in California, it's a joke. It's a joke. You
Yeah.
go to Texas, Las Vegas, people have their guns on their hips,
Oh, yeah.
little kids strapped.
Yeah.
You come up to some dude to start shit in the gas, you're getting shot. You're not
Yeah.
gonna get some beat up.
I take my piece to other states with me. I was like, why, you guys allowed? Cool, I'm taking it with me. I don't know. People nowadays
Yeah.
are crazy, dude.
They will
And my
shoot.
friends in every state, they stay strapped, dude. And they're business owner just like you,
Yeah,
you know. But California is a joke, dude.
it's crazy, you know. And so you gotta decide at what point you're gonna let it get to you. But it's a dangerous world. You just have to do what's in your best interest, because no one's gonna do what's best for you than you. Remember, everyone's gonna look out for themselves first. Very few people are selfless. That's very rare
True.
these days. They are to
Truly
exist.
selfless.
They do exist, but to a degree, you know. And that's where you have to make your judgment call. Where do I want to invest my time in? Is my time best with these people who don't care, trying to get something from me? Or is my time best if someone's going to build something with me? Think about that. That's a big one. Don't ever waste your time with someone's trying to take something from you. Unless you really feel like you want to give them something out of the kindness of
Yeah.
your heart, you know?
Yeah.
Like how you and I do to help people. But
Yeah.
if you think about this, you're a guy that I know can build something. I'm
Yeah.
a guy that could build something. Together, we build something. Together, people come and benefit from it. If all you did is take, you couldn't do nothing back, then essentially I would just be building something for you to take every day.
No.
So that's
you have to give. You have to give at any level. You have to give, man. Obviously, like I try to get to a level that you are to be able to give a lot more, and then I know you tell me you try to get to a certain level to give them a lot more than you do already.
Yeah, so even when I didn't have much, I would donate, right? Because I believe in karma more than anything.
Karma bank.
Yeah, I have a huge karma bank. So I've done a lot of selfless things. My way of doing selfless things for people is like this, like mentoring, like podcasts, like talking, like speeches, like counseling, whatever little things I could do for free that doesn't cost me anything but my time, which is actually the most valuable thing I have.
Yeah.
So yeah, my time's super valuable, but that shows how much I care. And if these people, which they do, I invest my time in smart people like you, like Eric, certain people, it pays me back dividends in the future. It may not be this year that we do something. It may not be next year, 3 or 5 years, but at some point, maybe 5 months, you never know. Some point, something's going to happen. I'm going to be like, Alex, or you're going to be like, Kevin, this is the deal. This is happening. Let's go. You ready? It's time. We prepared for this. We've been talking about this for a long time. This is the spot where we got the opportunity. We're pulling the trigger now. No hesitation. One shot, one kill. Boom. That's it.
Speed.
That's what I believe. Speed, just like
Execution.
just like shooting, right? When you shoot, you got to pull all the way through, no hesitation. You hesitate, it's just gonna recoil. A lot's gonna happen. So, I know it's the same as shooting. You got to shoot straight, and you got to breathe steady and hold your breath while you shoot. And you got to slow your heart rate, and you got to focus in on your target. And then once you line all that up, that's when you pull hard, and you pull real hard. I'm sure you've heard those words before, right?
Yeah.
So I know what I'm talking about, and I take that into the straight mentality of business. Whether it's a target for me, or whether it's a fight, whether it's an opponent, or whether it's a critic, it's all the same. And I take all those components of mastery. That's why I think martial arts is important, arts are important, psychology is important, because once you sharpen all those things, fitness, dude, physical strength, health, all that's crucial. Because once you sharpen all those things, you're prepared for war. And you put me in the room with anybody in any circumstance, I'll have a very high chance of survival. Very high chance. I may not win every single, sure I won't, but it'd be like 99% of the time. at least. I'd win everything.
That's better than majority fucking people out there, dude. Nowadays, 60% of the population is fat and fucking obese, dude. Are you kidding me? There's always gonna be somebody bigger, better, stronger, faster than you. I don't train to beat everybody. No. I train just so I can protect myself, and at the very least, if I lose the fight, I know for a fact my opponent will deeply regret that one too. He's not gonna just walk away. Yeah. All I ask for is a chance. So I train, and I ask for God for a chance. Just give me a chance to fight back.
Yeah.
That's all. Because that's all we can ask for. Yeah. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. No, and I always say, if I don't have a strategy to fight, I'm not going to fight. And, now that I'm getting older, I don't like to fight. So I only fight if I have to and if it's a life or death situation. I was trained by even wiser people, right, to not fight, to not argue, to not get physically confronted. I used to love to fight. I've fought my whole life. But I was taught under very hard circumstances that it's only worth fighting for physically if it's worth killing for. Heavy words, and that's the law of the land. That's the law of the wild. That's
the law of the nature, dude.
Law of nature. In the wild, animals don't just go killing each other for no reason. No, they have reason for food, flight, or survival. Okay, so just because you have an argument with someone, you shouldn't go stab them, shoot them, kill them. You shouldn't want to destroy their lives or sue them or lie about them in court or to the police. You should say, you know what, this problem isn't worth it. Or if it is, it's so serious, someone needs to die, and one of us are going to die because it's a life or death situation. Yeah. That's it. If the whole world could think like that, guess what? There'd be no more problems. Everything would just be peaceful or you'd be dead.
And the majority of problems we have is with the ego, bro. People. Yes. I know people who are doing serious time, decades, in prison, hard time, because they let their ego get the best of them.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it all.
Over stupid shit, dude.
I mean, even over drugs. I knew a guy 78 years over stealing PlayStation because he was high and wanted meth, and he did a home invasion while someone was home. Didn't even touch him, but that's what it takes. It's mind, it's ego. You could lose your life in a second, as you know. You've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
You got to be grateful for it. You got to appreciate what you have because, like I always say in other speeches, right? It's a different topic, but you only get one life to live, and it's over. It's done. You're only young for so long. In your 30s, then 40s, you're getting old. 50s, you're really old. 60s, you're already senior citizen. I mean, come on. So you only have so much time. Your clock is almost out. Our hourglass is upside down.
Watch them raise our retirement age just to squeeze a little more out of us. It's crazy.
Well, no, that's the beautiful thing. We're never going to retire. Everyone is going to work for us, and people are going to retire while we keep benefiting. That's the mindset. Tell the 401k, go fuck yourself. Cash that shit out. Tell your retirement savings, I don't need that. That became my real estate investment fund.
You got to create your own.
Your own fund. Yes.
Very important.
I was offered over $1 million a year with privileges from Herman Miller to go work for them and shut down my business not that long ago.
Mind you, not that long ago, you were sitting there and talking about Herman Miller and how cool it would be to maybe be hired by Herman Miller.
Yeah.
Now Herman Miller is offering you.
And now they come by and offer me.
Yeah.
So to leave. And now, though, instead of the $1 million, my company's already worth $5 million and growing in cash equity. It's going to grow up to 10 within the next couple of years, and it's going to grow to $20 million. Once I have $20 million of cash assets in Cube World USA, I sell all those assets, liquidate them, and I buy the building that I had all the assets in.
Yeah.
And now I own a $20 million building that I'm building equity. So now, even if I wanted, not that I would, but if I wanted to walk away and shut everything down, every single month I make $250,000 for the rest of my life.
There's a reason why government is trying to own majority stake of real estate in this
Government's country. The worst, dude. They're the modern day mafia. They own everything. It's sad. But you know what? You could take a chapter out of their book. Say, all right, you guys could have the whole block, but I'll have one building. It's all right.
Sometimes I'll still live good.
Sometimes that's all you need. You don't got to be greedy. You get 5 buildings. Okay, you're making $1.25 million a month. That's plenty to live off of. And from there, you could be smart and invest that to make $5 million a month.
Yeah.
It takes money to make money.
I want to share a story real quick. A story that happened. A story about you that changed my life. I told you that story before. It's remember that one time where you had this really good liquidation from up north. I forgot, it was Google or somewhere. We got a whole bunch of really nice high-end furniture inventory. And I remember it was a long day. It was after it was delivered, and we had a busy day going from meetings to meetings and clients, and we ended up at the warehouse, right? And I remember it was a long day. It was after it was delivered, and we had a busy day going from meetings to meetings and clients, and we ended up at the warehouse, right? And I remember it was a long day. It was after it was delivered, and we had a busy day going from meetings to meetings and clients, and we ended up at the warehouse, right? and your wife was there. I think Sonia was there too. And we're supposed to go check it out and leave. We waited there for a minute, and I wanted to go home. I was tired. You wanted to go home. You were tired. Your wife was tired. But I remember vividly standing there, and no matter how tired you were that day, no matter how long of a day, an exhausting day we had, you still stood there and you were looking at that furniture, cleaning it, unwrapping it, just kind of like rearranging it like a child. Like I saw genuine happiness in you. And as much as that's the day, and as much as I love your business, and I'm very grateful that you brought me into the arena of business and, into the company, I was like, this guy in front of my eyes, he's doing something that he truly, truly loves and believes in. So I have to do that. I have to follow my dream, and I have to do what makes me happy. And then the rest is history. We're here today sitting, but that really, really changed my life, man. A lot of things you told me that I've seen you do, that changed my life. But that one thing, man, is really kind of helped me flip the switch too. So
That makes me so happy, Alex, and really emotional and touching, and that's why I do what I do, is to inspire. That's my whole purpose on earth. That's why I'm here speaking to you right now. Hopefully other people get inspired. But the best thing I have about me is passion. I'm a very passionate person in every single way. Mentally as a boss, physically, emotionally, sexually, I'm just a very passionate person, and I care a tremendous amount. So the fact that I see that some of my passion, you've seen that hunger and that excitement, that pure just joy in my eyes that I do get out of doing what I do, and it inspired you to do what you do.
yeah,
My purpose is fulfilled. No matter what, even we have a great friendship, business relationship, every mentor, everything over many, many years. But I did my purpose for you, which is now ignite that fire in you that will never go out. That
nah,
passion I put in you is a forever passion.
yeah,
And it was given to me by a great guy that died in my arms, that was mean dearly to me, like how I mean to you. And I never lost it. And you know what? It motivates you to keep going. On those days it's cold, it's rainy, it's cloudy, and you feel down, hard, things are getting difficult, there's a lot of stress, a lot of work. It motivates you to keep going. And you just think about Mark or guys like me and Kevin. What would Kevin do? I always think, what would Mark do? What did Mark do? How did he
dude,
feel?
I say that. You can ask Nicole. I say that. Fuck, that's funny. I say, what would Kevin do? What would Kevin do? There's a lot of times, a handful of situations in my life where I was like, all right, this shit's not going right, or this deal, or this some kind of money, or whatever is involved, right? Mostly it's about business. I'm like, what would Kevin do? Yeah,
There it
I've
is.
done that.
There it is. You look to people that know a little more so you could be like them and then learn a little more yourself.
Yeah,
I didn't know everything I know. I picked a little bit up from all the smart people in my life.
yeah,
I've been blessed to be in business my whole life. So, doing this 20 years, I've met a lot of smart, wealthy, connected people all over the world. I speak multiple languages, so I met all types of cultures. And I took the best out of all of them. I watched them and I studied them, being the psychoanalytic mind that I am. And I honed in on their best qualities and characteristics, and I threw away all their bad ones. Said, if this dude's greedy, no. If this dude's cheap, no. If this dude's a liar, no. If this dude's unethical, no. This dude manipulates people, no. This dude
yeah,
doesn't have his heart in it, no. This dude's multi-level marketing, no. Like, I've seen all the bullshit, right? And so
yeah,
I know all the no's. So when I see any of the no's, it's red flag now. I just
yeah,
know, hey, don't do that. Don't mess with that. If I see the yeses, like you, like looking for a purpose, driven, motivated, skilled, athletic, hungry. I see all these qualities. They speak to me like a book. I can write them all down when I look at you. And that's what I see in people. And those are the people I choose to invest my time in. And hopefully I choose wisely so I don't waste my time. Because ultimately, remember what I told you, the purpose of life in sales and businesses, right? Making people do what you want them to do
while they think that they want to do it
for their own reasons.
yeah.
There it is.
That's not an easy concept to grasp, man. That's another thing that I learned from you, and I'm learning that every day as we speak. Essentially, charisma, right?
Charisma.
Essentially, that's what it is. I was even listening to Russell Peters the other day, and he said it just like that. But I heard it from you first. He said, "Yeah, essentially, that's what charisma is. It's making people do what you want them to do, thinking that they're doing it out of their own will, right?"
That's everything.
And that doesn't necessarily mean manipulation.
No,
it's not.
It's a positive thing.
It's a positive. A lot of positive reinforcement.
It's like, I want you to get rich so I could get rich too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the good thing. It's how people grow companies, empires are born.
Yeah.
The emperor can't do it himself. No,
Yeah.
it has to be a lot of people. Emperor still needed partners, needed government, needed backing, needed taxes, needed city to run his ship. If not, he would have sank too.
It needs people.
Needs people. People are meant to be connected. We're meant to intermingle. We're meant to work together. That's why I'm so big on collaboration, on community. When I design buildings and design spaces, I'm looking for a company to integrate on a daily basis and interact double or triple what they had been, so their company could grow at an exponential rate and then inadvertently come and buy back from me and grow more services and products so my company could grow at an exponential rate, right? So collaboration is everything. That's why I come here. That's why I share things with you. That's why I want you to share the things I teach you with other people. And who knows, maybe by me inspiring you, you inspiring a person who inspired 3 other people, one other person down the line will come back to you and I and be the person we were always looking to inspire.
It's a domino effect.
It's a
You never know
domino
when we can
effect.
touch.
That's exactly what we're doing, you know. We're trying to give back to people who don't have the knowledge, who don't have the upbringing, who don't have the motivation or maybe not the skills or the finances. You know, there's a multitude of things it could be, right? To be a businessman, a real entrepreneur, you got to have a lot of things. You got to have it all click.
Man, that's war.
That's
Entrepreneurship is war, dude.
Yes. And if it's not all clicking, you're not going to be successful. You're just not, you know, regardless what you do. But if it's all clicking and you got the right team, you got the right finance, the right backing, the right effort, and you're trying 110%, not 99 or 100, 110, you're going to win at some point. You know, it's like the old philosophy. I always say this when I give sales meetings. It's like the pipe. There's 2 ways of looking at a pipe. There's dreaming about it, that it's going to burst and all this money's going to fall out, you know. Imagine money going through the pipe, cash. Money's just going to fly out one day. No, it's not, because it's a solid pipe. It's metal pipe. Nothing's going to come out of it. But the money's going through. Okay, you have the control of the money. How hard you work is how hard you push the money through the pipe. So the harder you work, the more dedicated, more determined, the more motivated you are, the more money that's going in the pipe. Well, eventually the pipe's going to jam and it's going to overflow. And when it does and the pressure builds up in the pipe and is jammed with all the money, keeps throwing money, what's going to happen? It's going to burst and the money's going to start raining everywhere. That's a fact. That's what happened to me a year ago. That's what happened to me today from the stories I told you.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen to me in a few months from now when Houston's built out.
Yeah.
That's how it works. If you don't shove enough in the pipeline, it's never going to burst. You're just going to constantly be sucking water or barely grabbing some money. That's not how it is, you know. Jake Paul, as much as I don't like those guys and I think it's funny, I respect them to some degree.
Yeah, you have to.
You have
gotta
to
give him credit.
He works harder than Nate Diaz does. Nate Diaz is a BMF contender, UFC title, all kinds of things, right? Boxing, Sacramento legend, this and that.
Yeah.
He got his ass whooped by a podcaster, a dude like you.
Yeah, Jake Paul is a good boxer, dude.
But it doesn't matter. It's not a sport and profession.
It's not.
It'd be like you coming in and taking out Joe Rogan on a podcast.
Bro, Joe Rogan's got... Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Hard work.
It gets you there.
Okay, and consistency.
I got him there.
Yeah.
That's my point. Your hard work will get you where you want. My hard work's taking me to where I want. Whoever works the hardest is going to win. There's an old saying. Even when I was the brokest person in the room, I was still the richest person in the room. What does that mean? Interpersonal wealth. Interpersonal success. You could take away everything I have right now. The diamonds, the clothes, the cars, everything. Leave me with nothing on the streets. I'll be a millionaire again next year. I guarantee you.
This is the second time in like 48 hours I hear this from 2 different multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
So I'll put it out there. And I
We're all
know,
preaching the same
and neither
story.
one of you talk out of your ass because I've seen you fuck both of you.
Yeah. It don't
About
matter.
business.
You could take everything away from the man, but you can't take the knowledge and the skills and the connections away. And if you've treated people right and you've done the good things, like how I have or your other business people mentors, you're going to be in business no matter what. And people are going to love you and they're going to know your word is gold and your word is bond. And when you say that, when I say something, people listen. When I snap my fingers, 100 people will show up around me and say, yes, sir, how can I help you? What can I do for you? That's business. That's influence. That's power. That's industry. That's change. That's changing people's lives and opportunities. That's having the power with all those people and strength and equipment, tools, and money behind you to take on any challenge you would desire.
I think it's important to acknowledge that, first of all, everything you said is true because I've seen it in my own eyes. But it's important to acknowledge and tell people that your success is not overnight.
Oh.
What I've seen you do with your company and yourself as a person, right? It was just the last year, but I know behind that, before I even met you, dude, that's 20 years of Kevin in the making. 20 years and everything you mentioned before. So the biggest thing that I also see in you is you always know whatever you said, you put in the work, man.
Yeah.
You work like a fucking horse, dude. Unicorn. And by doing so, and you invest in yourself. First and foremost, you invest in yourself. And this is the same shit I tell people out there. You invest in yourself and you become a leader by example. You don't, whenever you give me an example, I see you implement the same shit. So you hold yourself to the same standards.
Oh, yeah. I'll never.
You lead by example. You are what you speak.
Every day. Every day. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging. That's the exciting part, right? None of this came easy. I'm not a magician. I didn't do it overnight. Yes, I became rich pretty quick in a year and a half this time. And my company's grown exponentially where a lot of people are going to be rich with me. But that came from 3 marriages, a bankruptcy. It came with, multiple friends who betrayed me, family, assassination attempts, incarceration, trauma. I've had many professional licenses they took away. I had many things I lost. The trauma built the man. And then through all that, though, it never was my business that was the problem. It was me that was the problem.
Accountability.
So there it is. I'll be the first one to tell you.
Amen.
You guys need to take accountability. If you say it's their fault, his fault, that's bullshit. It's your motherfucking fault you're not successful. It is your fucking fault. No one else's.
I can't even say it. I'm not going to get anything to that, dude.
Yeah, we're all in America. If not, you're in a country where you have internet, so there's no excuse. Fuck, that's all you need is the internet and a phone, and you're winning.
They cry about shit, about being a victim while they're typing their fucking keyboard warrior comments on $1,000 phone while they're in the best country in the world, sipping on an $8 fucking Starbucks drink.
It's sad.
That's hypocrisy.
It's weakness.
It's weakness.
It's weakness. And you know why? Because these people haven't been through anything. They haven't been through pain. Because pain is weakness leaving the body.
Adversity builds a man, like you said.
There it is. And so, I have little brothers. I love one of them. One of them I'm not so cool with. They're both not to where I'm at because they both haven't went through what I went through. They had a lot more sheltered of a life. My parents took a lot better care of them than me. I was the firstborn. My parents did what they did, but guess what? You could combine all 5 of my siblings. Not all 5 of them combined are even half as successful as I am. What does that say? I was forged in the fire. They weren't.
No.
I'm the diamond in the rough. They're the coal that's still being pressed. That's what it is, man. Pressure makes diamonds. That's just what it is. And it's so true. The mineral analogies, minerals, material, matter, is all energy, right? Energy converts from matter to gas to liquid to solid and transcends through our bodies in different states. That's what it is. It's what energy do you have inside. It's who are you on the inside and what have you been through to make you the person you are. And once all those stars align, I think that's the part of the reason you met me. I was part of your stars that aligned to put you into the line of the man that you're meant to become. Mark Steinberg, he was the reason I met him, was to become the man I am. Even my ex-boss that I hated, John Driscoll, that said I'm less than the shit beneath his shoe, before I made him go retire and put him out of business. He was
revenge, dude. Success is the sweetest revenge.
He was part of the reason too that made me the man I am.
Yeah.
Everybody, even my ex-wives that I hate, all that betrayal. Guess what? It made me find a better wife. It made me find a better woman, a better life, a more peaceful, caring. I feel loved finally. I never felt loved. I thought I felt loved. I thought I had people, but I didn't. So a lot of times you got to be careful. You could have all the people, the money, the things like these celebrities that kill themselves, right? It's all an illusion.
Robin Williams. Yeah.
There it is. It's all a facade.
Man in the world, and he died of depression.
Because he was sad. Because you could have everything in the world, but if you don't have genuine people, it doesn't matter. I'd rather be sitting here eating with my wife, your girl, and having a nice takeout dinner than be in a mansion with a tiger with 20 servants and 10 assistants feeding me bullshit that they all love me when they really hate me and want to take my stuff. Yeah, I don't want that. I've seen that all. So that's why I love animals so much, and I isolated myself and rescue exotic animals. Because I decided, there's very few people who deserve my time, care, and compassion. Only those that want to help themselves and better themselves. I realize, as sad as it is, and you all can listen to this, no one can help you until you help yourself. And that's true for me. I was speaking from experience.
No one's coming.
Until I helped myself and I worked physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, drug-wise, violence-wise,
Overcoming your trauma.
traumas, PTSD. I suffer big from PTSD. It's so bad at nighttime. I wake up having night terrors still from all the super ultra violence and death that I've seen. And my wife has to grab me and hold me just to be like, it's okay. Don't have an anxiety attack. That's still something I deal with. That's something I dealt with last week. And I can't control that. That's subconscious, but I'm working very hard on that. And it's getting better. Now it only happens every month, every few weeks. Before it was every single night. That's things I'm still working on. My nighttime trauma, which is hard because it's subconscious, you got to work on. It's a whole nother type of meditation. Deep meditation I do. But now my waking hours, I've mastered myself. And maybe this is something that we'll talk about more in depth on another time, but it's a whole psychological theory. You have to build a wall. Build a wall. And I was taught by the best psychologist in the world this. Build a wall so tall that no one can climb it, even yourself. It's a psychological wall. Make it out of titanium, brick, mortar, whatever's impenetrable in your mind, impregnable. A wall so high that has only one drawbridge that you and your conscious mind controls. And that drawbridge lets people in or lets people out. And you be very slow with that drawbridge, very slow. And if you see any danger or any flags are raised on the wall, the drawbridge shuts and it can't open no matter what. This is how you have to be about the people in your life. And I'm talking in regards to emotions, feelings, care, compassion. Anything humanistic traits, those will either be your greatest strengths and attributes, like build your relationship with your significant other, or they'll be your biggest destruction and take you down, like how my former employees and people took me down. So I learned now, be really fucking careful with that wall. Don't let anyone in that wall other than people you would die for, hands down. And even then you got to be careful with that wall and still hold on tight to the rope, because you never know. That once I built that psychological block in my head where I really am super cold to where I don't care what happens today or tomorrow, I'm just going to go forward and do or die. I'm going to do my very best. I don't give a fuck what anyone feels like or thinks about, or I just do not care. Once I had that do not care mentality, I started winning, because everything I ever believed in was coming true. And all the people that I thought cared or this and that, everything they ever said was bullshit.
Bro, nobody gives a shit at the end of the day, dude.
There it is.
Nobody does, man.
There it is, right? We
And
all
then
know that.
why are people living their lives according to what other people think of them?
Because that's all they know. All they're raised is do what people say, keep up with the Joneses, care about this, care about that. It's ingrained in our society, and it's hard to break it. Just like fashion. Everyone wants to dress nice or the best clothes, so they feel more important than the next person, What does the shirt really
We're
mean?
not fucking important. We're a bunch of people, a bunch of organisms that are intelligent, living on the fucking rock that's moving through space in God knows what direction.
Yeah.
God knows going where,
We're all just people. We're all just things. They're all just material. I mean, from once you've had it all and lost it all, it doesn't matter. Like I always have told you, Alex, things are just things. If I wanted to not work anymore, I could sell all my stuff and retire right now. I'd never have to work a day in my life again. Just kick back on the beach in a nice, cool little house. Do I want that life? Absolutely not. I want to do the most I possibly can. I want to be immortalized in a statue, my ashes, with an eternal security guard for the next 1,000 years overlooking me as I point into the Pacific Ocean of Newport Beach, and a waterfront property that's been immortalized to a self-realization center for me. That's my end goal. So in order to do that, I need like at least $50 million. So once I hit 50 million, I'll forever be immortalized on Earth for as long as the United States is around, most likely. That's as good as I can do.
Every man needs a purpose, vision, and mission.
There we go. That's the ultimate goal. I want to be there with my wife and my pets and have a cool little, monolith, basically. That's the end goal. In life, I've already achieved everything I wanted. I've had kids. I have another one on the way. I had businesses. I had friends, family, marriages, cats, dogs, properties, building. What have I not done? Cars, I've done it. So now it's a point of immortalizing it for me and making this a legacy and cementing myself on the side of whatever it may be, the freeway, the buildings downtown. I don't know where it's going to end up, but somewhere, just like Rockefeller, just like Vanderbilt, just like Musk, just like Zuckerberg, my name's going to be on places, and my statues are going to be there, and my buildings will be there, my nonprofits and organizations, and hopefully furniture company will still be there, and I will not be forgotten.
You're leaving a legacy behind, bro.
Legends never die.
Never die.
Remember that. Legends never die. Everyone else does.
Everybody wants to be average, bro.
Yeah. I would die if I was average. I'd rather be dead.
But then they brainwash you by telling you it's okay. Like, why do you want to be special? Why do you want to be different? Because I fucking want to. Like, why is very subjective.
Yeah.
You know, how, where, when, that's subjective. But why? Like, I stopped telling people why. There's come part of my point in my life where I don't just, you won't understand why. And maybe I can't even explain to you why. But my why is my why, and my why drives me, and you should have yours.
Yeah.
Because last thing I want to fucking do, last thing I'm going to do is die average.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, you have the hunger in you. You have the heart of a champion. Not everyone has the heart of a lion or heart of a champion. Most people, unfortunately, are meant to be followers, and they're meant to be led by people like you and like I into the war, into the flames, into the battle, because they'd be lost and dead without us. That's just how the world works. Not everyone's going to be a leader. Not everyone's going to be a follower. Not everyone's going to be talk to you on this level. Most people just say, yes, sir, follow you around, or they'll say, fuck that dude, I hate him. It's one of the two. It's either yes, boss, yes, sir, or I hate you. There's no in between. It's not someone says, I don't know how I feel about him. I like him. I don't like him. No. It's either, oh, he's amazing, or I don't like him. That's how the world is.
You think leaders are born or leaders are made?
Both. Right? I had a genetic makeup since I was a child to lead. Even on the playground, I had all the Pokemon cards. I held a pawn shop in elementary school. In my, I did, and I took all the Pokemon cards.
Shop?
I had the pawn shop in elementary
God.
school. Yeah, and I took everyone's Pokemon cards, and I traded the better ones for the shittier ones, you know. And I had a book of like 1,000 cards. Other kids were struggling to have 50 to 100. Was I born? No. Was I pre-genetically disposed? Yes.
Oh.
Was I forged as a leader? Hell yes. It's always been on my back. It's always been all up to me. Everything's on me at all times. I know nothing but pressure. I know nothing but stress. I know nothing but weight on me and how to carry it really well. That's why I don't show, even when I'm super stressed out, I hardly show it. I'm always calm. I'm always collected. I'm always very methodical. You know that. You've seen me under high stress situations.
Yeah.
Remember Danny?
Yeah.
Hyundai tried to rip us off.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some things, you know, and hi, that was a small one. I mean,
That was a funny deal, dude. By the way, speaking of that deal, it's funny you brought it up. That's the first time, not the first time, but that situation that we had in that deal is when I realized that you really care. I don't know if I ever told you the story. It was, I think, the first time you invited me in to go into a deal together, right? And I know back then it was like 10, 20 G's or something. I know damn well you had enough funds to cover that deal by yourself, but you gave me a chance to go in that deal, to learn from it, to make some money together. And that's why I was like, this guy cares. And he's not like, I'm very skeptical. You know me. Part of it is because of what I do. Part of it is just my character, right? I always keep my guard up, like you just said. You got to have a wall, right?
Yeah.
But then I saw it, and I'm like, you had the money to do it by yourself. You didn't need my help. But you invited me in, and, you know, obviously we made money. I learned a lot, and we dealt with a bunch of stress too, which was also fun, you know.
Yeah.
But it was great, man. Yeah.
Got a great picture out of it.
Yeah. It was funny.
I love that one. Oh, it's beautiful, right? And that's why I did it. Of course it wasn't the money, dude. It was to teach you a lesson. It was to grow your business acumen. It was to give you an opportunity no one else had, and say, hey, this is what a real friend and joint venture partner would do. You put in 25, in a couple of weeks, I'll double your money for you. There you go, dude. Have a nice day. That's a real good person. You know, I could easily said, hey, I'll give you a commission, $500, you know, easily. But no, I gave you 500% that to show you where my heart is and my friendship. It's not about the money.
It's not even about the money. It's what I learned and what I saw. And
it's the heart.
Yeah.
I showed you I have heart, and I showed you passion. You know, and I showed you, even if it's as stupid as a cubicle, right, that it could change someone's life. That cubicle, there's a reason I have it tattooed on me, and a whole bunch of other people do too.
That's because you're passionate.
I'm passionate. I'm dead ass passionate. Why do people get my company logo tattooed on them? Because I'm so passionate.
That was a trip over there, dude. I was like, oh, that person's no longer with us.
Unfortunately, but also fortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that person is crazy. That person now introduced me to another person who is now my producer and editor. Yeah, shout out to Kyle. I know you're gonna be watching this because you're gonna put this episode together. But she's the one who introduced me to Kyle, and Kyle is now he's my main producer editor guy who, does
See,
my episodes.
there were some good things about her. That's not all bad. There's bad
Yeah.
too, but
Yeah.
that's life. But you take the good things she did for you and me,
Yeah,
and you enjoy it, and you say the bad. Oh well, that's the bad.
I think the situation with the person we're talking about right now is very circumstantial. It's not so much the person, it's the
of
circumstances,
this situation.
but also not being capable,
Also
or maybe
mental
even
health.
willing to, and that to overcome it and to get better.
You could have got better, yeah. But it's sad, then just won't name names, but certain people have had golden opportunities with us, with me, with our company, and they blow it.
Yeah.
They blow it big time. And they're doing so good. They're freaking good. They're making money. They're making moves. They're doing shit.
I mean, sometimes is fucking dumb. Like, I see people, I deal with people who are literally, you're not even born or smart enough to be a criminal. And the person, like you told me a story earlier, that tried to, asked to work for you and then couldn't take the pressure to grow. And it comes to honestly admit to you that, it's too much of a job to try to backstab you because he can't even compete with that. Like, if you want to try to backstab somebody, right, or take their spot, at least put in 2, 3, 5, 10 years to get to that person's level to be able to compete and take them on. But if you're not even willing to go that far or put in a little bit of effort, you don't even belong. You're, what's the term you use? Lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
You're not good. You're not bad. You're fucking
Just
lukewarm. You soft ass bitch.
Just quit.
And that's the worst.
That's the worst. That's the people you just want to slap in the face. Like, you don't even deserve to get punched because you're a straight bitch.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather you be like an aggressive or opponent. At least I'll learn something.
At least give me a fight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, make me a little better.
Yeah.
Right? We don't get any better unless people give us a challenge.
Yeah.
We don't. If it's too easy, you're just going to coast forever. Why did I get so much better? Because everyone challenges me all the time. Even at this age, people always tell me, is this your dad's business? Is this your mom's? I'm like, what the fuck? You should have asked me that 20 years ago. But, it's nice, though. It's a reverse compliment. It's like, and now I don't take it as an insult. I'm like, oh, wow. You think because you're so much older that there's no way I could have done it at this age. And I'm not even that young. I'm already well matured into my business years. So, you look at it and you just think some people learn when they're young. Some people learn when they're old. Some people never learn. And they never will. They're going to look at you like you're crazy because they never learned what you learned. That's like, I talk about open-mindedness a lot, right? Especially in relationships. And that's a whole nother topic. But people have to be open-minded to make a relationship work. In today's society, with the way men are, and the way women are, and the way alpha male men like you and I are, there's no way a woman could expect a guy just to do one thing forever. It's fucking impossible, dude. And if anyone says it is, then they're just got away for a long time, or they're lying and cheating, or they're secretly gay. One of the three fucking things are happening, dude. And I love LGBTQ. I support and donate to you guys. I have a lot of gay friends. I love you guys. But I'm just letting you know that you got to be honest with your girl. You got to be honest with your boyfriend, whatever it is, your wife, husband. There's a lot of people faking. And I know you've had a lot of podcasts about this. And I love this topic. There's a whole nother topic besides business. Yeah. It's me excited, right? It's the fun shit I talk about.
Yeah.
But these cowardly pussy ass people can't fulfill all these women's needs. Therefore, there's a huge influx of women who aren't getting satisfied. Yeah. And what are they going to do? They're all going to filter towards the guys that can.
Yeah. It's always been like that. Always been like that for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And
it's just getting worse. It's getting worse now, though.
Yeah. All these guys who, ever since this feminism movement started, right? And I also noticed that. I know men like that. I know we know together, combined, we know
a lot
men like that who... They try to jump on that feminism or whatever bandwagon. Yeah, let her be independent, this and that. And they think maybe if they kiss the women's ass and play their tune, they'll get more ass. No, that's wrong. Instead, it's guys like you, and I'll even say me, and alpha males out there, got dick carouseled.
Yeah.
And to this day, it continues.
So
why are you hating? Like, you chose to be a little pussy.
Yeah.
Like Prince Harry, dude. Are you following what's happening to Prince Harry? It's crazy. It's crazy. His wife tells him to go snitch on his family, write a book, go on public interview in national television, and basically rat out on his entire royal fucking family, the monarchs, dude. And he does it, and then she's like, okay, I'm divorcing you now. And he can't comprehend the idea that she did that to you. You know, it's in the woman's nature to test you. You went ahead, you betrayed your entire family, your bloodline. You come from a royal family. You're a traitor. Of course, now she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life with you because you're a pussy. And now he's all, well, why? I thought she loves me. I did what she wanted me to do. And that's exactly why she despises you now, because you're a coward.
Yeah. You know, women test you if you're gonna do something. They always tell you, "Oh, I want you to do this," but they really want you to do something else, right?
That's a whole lot of fucking topic to talk about, bro.
You got to be smart enough to see that. It's like my wife sometimes she'll be like, "I don't want to go," or "No," and I really know she wants to go, so I have to drag her along with me if she doesn't get ready, because I know she'll be happier going, or she'll be really mad I left without her. You know.
You got to be a leader, man.
You got to be a leader. Same thing. Even if someone says no, you know, as long as it's with their will, right? Nicely, accordingly. Just do what's best for them. You got to take, it's like if your kid, he's trying to go burn his finger in the socket. Just to pull his finger and say, no, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. Well,
Same
sometimes
thing.
it's good. It's okay to let him burn the fucking finger.
Well, right. You got to learn too. But, you know, with all these women that aren't having their needs taken care of, especially sexually too, you know, not to mention inadequate sexual men, inadequate libido. I've heard of guys that only fuck their girl like once a week, twice a week. I mean, insane stuff. And, you know, other women have needs too. A woman's needs aren't being met. She's going to go look elsewhere eventually at some point.
I had my ex start a fight. This is how I began to learn how women's brain operates. One of my exes, I was 25 around the time. She would like start an argument. And then I was like on the phone, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is so irrelevant. Like, I'm like, listen, do you need, and I said it's a joke, I'm like, do you need to get dick down or what?
Yeah.
And she goes, yes, finally you understand. And I was like, well, first of all, great communication on your behalf. Second of all, like, I'll be right there in 30 minutes, but maybe it would have been better if you just told me. But bottom line is, this is their language.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes you just gotta go. You gotta just do your job, you know, fucking get that shit out of the way, show who the boss is, and like continue about your business.
Yeah.
You gotta operate at an animalistic level, but it's necessary.
Yeah. No, survival of the fittest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the animals, going back to the kingdom, would breed only with the strongest ones in the pride in the
Natural
group.
selection.
Same thing with humans. You know, back in the days only strong would survive. Now, America, other countries have enabled weak people to survive. You know, a lot of weak people. Not saying handicap and stuff like that, but, you know, mentally, physically, different types of disabilities that hinder people from surviving long time ago. They're living till long ages now, which is fine. That's all great in humanity's sake.
Yeah, but who pays for that? People like me
People
and
like
you pay
me
for
and
that.
you, our taxes. Women pay for it because they're now all alone and they grew up old and alone with no man and die. And they're sad. And how many sad women do you know? How many sad girls?
A lot.
Every girl I know is sad, dude. Everyone is depressed. Every girl's depressed right now.
It's so easy to be a guy and get girls out there nowadays. You don't even have to try hard, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't even need a Ferrari, a diamond watch, and all that. You before you had a Ferrari and diamond watch, I know for a fact you're still getting girls. Why? Because leader, confident, have your shit together, handle business, right? Has a backbone.
Yeah.
They sense that shit naturally.
They feel it and then they fight over it. It's like my wife Mila. You know, she's very prestigious, well-established, professional woman, perfect record, good income, good credit. Why did she go with me, someone who had nothing, when I was asking her to borrow her car? Because she saw it in me. She saw the potential. She saw the hunger, the motivation, the drive, the charisma, the strength. She loved it and she believed into it and she invested into it. And her investment paid off very well for her. So, yes, that's natural. You can't take that away. That's what I said. Even when I was broke, I was still the richest person in the room, in my opinion, you know, because I know what I could do. I know how I could talk, and I know what I could say, and I know what I could put together. And what I'm best at, the most valuable thing that I bring to earth, is putting people together from two complete opposite walks of life that have never met and putting them together to do something great that when we come together we couldn't do without each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's the billion-dollar question. I've watched people build empires. You know, my partner in Texas, we're about to build the W Hotel, $1 billion contract. Okay, he's making, who knows, 500 million off the project, 200 million. I don't know. It's a humongous amount. But hard work, dedication, 40 years of business, connections, government, track record of success, huge finances, and huge backing. Now he has celebrities backing him, unlimited money, unlimited connections. He owns 49 enterprise businesses. He's worth $8 billion. And this guy, seen, I'm not super wealthy by any means. I'm just a basic average multimillionaire. There's people with way more than me, hundreds of millions. But he saw, this dude with billions saw in me what he saw in himself. And he spent the whole day with me. And I had a beautiful day with him. And he said, you know what? You remind me of you when I was your age. He says, I wouldn't be surprised if you get to where I'm at or past me by the time you're my age. He says, you're really impressive. And I see a lot of people from a lot of walks of life. And he says, I'd like to partner up and invest with you. And this was just in June?
Yeah.
Okay. Today just turns September. I already have 2 locations
and
with
things
him.
are in motion.
Things are in motion.
Big
Bank
time.
of America's arriving. My partner's a billionaire. His best friend's a 50 Cent, Floyd Mayweather, all of them. Snoop Dogg. All these guys, I'm in the VIP booths of the Houston Astros, the Houston Rockets, the Texans, all that. I'm like right there in their same booths, drinking, eating with them. Look where I was 2 years ago. And now I'm at the pinnacle of the top of billionaires and celebrities, working for them and with them. And not just for them. I don't work for them. They're my partners.
Yeah, I've seen the emails.
Oh, you've seen them. They're real deal emails. This is real deal.
Straight business.
Straight's on my website. The addresses are there. They own these buildings outright. And you know what they told me? They said, Kevin, we believe in you so much. If you prove us right here, don't worry about running out of space because we'll just buy the building next door. And they said, will never stop. Your empire will keep growing with us. You make us money, you'll have money forever. And that's what we're doing. And today, the most beautiful thing, I'll say this before the timer almost runs out. And we'll hopefully pick this up when it gets better.
Absolutely, we have to.
I brought in Bank of America. I had Houston, the empty shell. I didn't have no labor. I didn't have no salesman there. I have no rack. I have no equipment, no van, no nothing. But I pulled the trigger on Bank of America. And I invested $25,000. Simple, just materials. No trucking, no storage, no, just 25 raw materials. 1,000. Okay.
Not just material.
Just materials. I planned to sell everything for $150,000. When it landed and was retail, 100,000 wholesale. Okay, that's $75,000 profit still if I hit it. Well, right before I got here, I posted that on a global marketplace, salvex.com, for $99,000. The product is being loaded tonight in the trailers. It arrives tomorrow evening in Houston. And right before I came here in the car, the last text message, I got an offer at $50,000 for that product from Bank of America, and I denied the offer. Even though I could have made $25,000 on my way over here in 1 hour, I denied the offer. Why? I counter-offered at $69,000. And I know that if he came up from his prior offer all the way up to 50, that he'll at least go to 69 and counter-offer, and we'll go up to 60, and I made another $10,000 while sitting here in this podcast. And by the time I get home or get his counter-offer tomorrow, I'm going to accept it at 60. And there goes the first wholesale in Bank of America, Jacksonville, Florida, sold, and proven to my partners in Houston that everything I say comes true. And that's going to be the jump start to build out the warehouse in Houston, Texas.
Fucking A, man.
And there it is. I did it. Again, here we go to Houston.
Like you do everything, dude.
Like
everything
we do. And I will be there with you. We'll be cheering a beer, and I'll say, look, there it is, a setup, just like we talked in your podcast.
Yeah. I got to go with you next time.
You're coming, yeah. You got to check it. You're going to love it, dude.
Yeah.
We got a lot of fun stuff. I know people in Houston. We'll have fun. Yeah, I know some people.
Hell yeah. Do it. Well, listen, it's been great. I mean, damn, we're definitely going to continue. I mean, you already know I love talking to you. Yeah, and this has been fantastic. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin, thank you, brother, for being here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, if you guys, like I always say, if you guys find any value in this, I hope you did. Our job is to help you and help the people next to us. So if you like this episode, please click like, share, subscribe, and be part of our journey. See you next time. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Alex.